We're going to start this meeting with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Dan Pillow,
Here.
Mindy Auel. Here. Kathy Byess.
Here.
Ann Pillow.
Here.
Clerk, Pam Jackson.
Here.
We're gonna make a motion to on Al.
Oh, right. Al is out of town. He's not
Right.
here, so.
I make a motion, we excuse the absence of Mr. Quick.
I'll second it. Motion by Dan Phillips, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Mindy Auel.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow. Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Okay, you have the minutes from April the 20th, and I will put you a new set because Kathy found something that I had Danny down for, in one of the paragraphs as Mayor. It must have been a typo. Okay, so you have the minutes from April the 20th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from April the 20th.
I'll second it. Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy Byess. Is there any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have pay ordinance 5A. This is for biweekly salaries paid on May the 1st from the general fund, $2,622.36 from the sewer fund, $820.54 from the water fund, $157.44 for a combined total of $3,600.34.
I'll make a motion to approve 5A 2026.
I'll second it. Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Ann Pillow. Is there any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have 5B, this is for monthly salaries from the general fund, $7,200 from the water fund, $1,258.82 for a combined total of $8,458.82.
Make a motion to pay the bill.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ann Phillips, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have 5C for accounts payables from the general fund. Oh, wow, where was I that day? Damn. 14,000 from the general fund, $14,304.99 from the street construction, maintenance, and repair, $494.71 from the water fund, $13,750.63 for a combined total of $28,550.33.
I'll make a motion to approve 5C 2026.
I'll second it. Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy Byess. Is there any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And that's all I have, Mayor. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Margaret. Just have a couple things. First, I'd like to know, council, if I could have at least $500 to start with flowers. We have some we want to put out here. We have the Memorial Park, and just we have our pots out here. So if I can get at least that to get things rolling, that'd be great.
I make a motion that we allow the mayor $500 for flowers.
I'll second.
Motion by Dan Phillips, second by Pam Jackson. Is there any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And the next thing, we've concluded, interviews for the part-time maintenance personnel. That was a decision, it wasn't easy, but I would like to make a recommendation for the hiring of Ryan Pearson from Cleves. I feel that he would be a good person for the team, and just that's where I'm at with that. I'd like to recommend him for appointment for the maintenance position.
I make a motion, what was it, Ryan,
Pearson.
that we, hire Ryan Pearson for the part-time maintenance.
I'll second it.
Motion by Kathy Byess, seconded by Pam Jackson. Is there any discussion?
Absolutely, Mayor.
Okay.
We have a gentleman who has worked here hard and long when we needed him. I certainly felt like sitting with you and being in all the interviews that he was an excellent choice to keep up the work that he's done in our village over the last few years. I mean, he knows the village, he knows the equipment, he knows everything that, it's a sort of a blindsider here, but he knows everything about what we do, and he's been here, he lives here. I just voice my opinion as we have a discussion. I just don't know how we can overlook Bernard Thomas by name for all that he's done for us here in the village.
I definitely like Bernard Thomas. I think he's a great worker. I do.
Well,
This wasn't easy for me at all.
Yeah. Well, can I ask what this gentleman had?
I'm
And I
looking
said it on
for
the interviews,
what I said
over
with
over
team.
Mr. Thomas.
Right, and with our agendas and the teamwork that I want, I feel that's my choice.
It's your choice. It is.
Join the club.
Is there any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Nay.
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Nay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then,
Motion's carried.
did it?
Well, you got three
Yep.
out,
Okay.
out of the ones that are here. Am I right, Mr. Solicitor?
Not necessarily, it's, the
What do
issue
you
is,
mean?
well, because if this requires a absolute majority,
That is the majority that's here right
it's the
now.
majority that's here, there are certain resolutions and certain actions in the.
But we've
committee.
also always done that. If
Okay.
somebody was absent, we would make a vote.
On hiring decisions,
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, in the past.
No, it's actually the same situation we had when we were choosing the next council person.
Exactly.
And we held up the, selection of that council person because we only had 5 people available.
Yep.
So
It was
so
4.
we can't say
It was
that's what we
4.
always do, it's what we've done of late.
with the council person, that, I know that would definitely be required, I'm just not sure on the hiring of personnel, that's the reason I said that.
What was the vote? I'm sorry. I'm having a little
It was
difficulty
3 to
today.
2, 3
Everything's
yays and 2 nays.
Oh, okay.
So my only issue is, and I just don't know off the top of my head, if the hiring of personnel is of that category of decisions that absolutely requires a full majority, a 4-person at least vote.
No.
If it doesn't, then
It
it's,
does not.
then it's carried.
Mhm.
Okay. Moving on, I'll come back if I have anything else, but we're just moving on to him. We have the resolution for the grant that, I applied for the well abandonment. That you have in front of you, it's for, funding for that well abandonment when that's completed project. It's a resolution.
Mayor, how soon will this go into effect?
This is just for, to accept the agreement for
Okay.
the grant funding.
Okay,
So it goes into effect when I sign it.
it's just to get the agreement,
This is the agreement for the funding, yeah,
yeah,
because we've been approved, we got that grant money.
okay. I didn't want it to close down before they left.
Oh, no, they're gonna work with us on that to give us the time we need for that.
Okay,
Do we have a date on here? Okay. Yeah, they're gonna work with us to make sure this is paid for.
So I'll make a motion to suspend the rule, read it by title only 3 times and declare it an emergency.
I'll second it.
Oh, where's my list?
Motion by Kathy Byess, second by Pam Jackson.
Motion by Pam, second.
Oh, make that
Different
the
way.
opposite, yeah. Motion by Pam, second by
I'm more
Kathy.
over here.
Is there any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
yay,
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
This is a first reading resolution authorizing the mayor and village clerk to enter into and administer an agreement with the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the agency, for grant funding with respect to well closure / abandonment. Second reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor and village clerk to enter into and administer an agreement with the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the quote-unquote agency, for grant funding with respect to well closure / abandonment. Third reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor and village clerk to enter into and administer an agreement with the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the quote-unquote agency, for grant funding with respect to well closure / abandonment.
I'll make a motion to adopt this read.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy Byess. Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
yay,
Mindy Auel,
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson. This
Yay.
will be number 20.
Is that all you had to bring up? Okay. So now we'll move to committees. Dan, we'll start with you.
thank you, Mayor. I need to check with the maybe laws and contracts on what happens when an individual or somebody who rents our park, was it rented over the weekend?
No.
No,
That's
It
what
was
I had.
not?
No,
Okay,
the
I
next-
just
the
drove
next-
by and saw some things in the strips and I just assumed it was rented, okay.
the next rental, Dan, is, I assume, the
I can go get
gym.
that book if you want.
You saw
Yeah.
a
You can
name?
get
You
it.
saw a name in those
Uh,
strips?
I saw something white in there,
Oh,
I
you don't
didn't
know
look,
what
I
it
just assumed it was name tags that somebody had put in.
There's a metal plate
Yeah,
over there
that's
that
where-
we insert
That's what
that.
I saw.
Hmm.
At any rate, whoever was in there this weekend left it a mess.
I was gonna bring that up,
Yeah,
yes.
and,
I looked on the camera too,
Yeah,
and that's true, it was.
Mike brought it to my attention, and I didn't know if somebody had actually rented it or how we have.
I saw all those people over there too, and that's what I started
A lot of
thinking, did somebody rent that?
Yeah, now, what is the protocol for that? When, if somebody, do we have a law in place that if somebody's rents it, they leave
We
it a
have no
mess.
deposit, I think.
That's with the deposit.
They
if
lose
somebody
their
rents it,
deposit.
Yeah.
That's what we have to deposit for.
Yeah.
It goes along with the park rules that were put
Right.
together, that they have to pay a deposit.
Yeah,
And, you know, to rent it, there is like, if they use electric, there's like a fee, it's all outlined. And once it's cleaned up, and I'm told that it's cleaned up by maintenance or, you know, then they'll get that back, but if not, but as far as them, when it's rented, they fill out that application, and the,
They have to give you a copy of their driver's license.
yeah, they give us a copy of their driver's license, and they, you know, give us a check, or, you know, we can take a credit card for it. And,
Yeah, they're
the
charged.
water
if they-
clerk,
yeah.
she enters it in her calendar, we have a calendar book. I have it in my calendar book. We take the application, I keep a copy, because I have to have proof of the money, where it come from. And we give a copy, she has a copy, and we also give a copy to the county, so they know who's over there. If there's a disturbance about, I was here first, or I rented it, that type of thing.
sure.
But, you know,
If it's not rented, we don't have any way to go back on it. to
well,
see
not
who-
if we don't know the information.
Yeah.
And that's, I was started to say that the next rental is the first weekend in June, when the, gym has that man contest. I assume they're having it this year,
Oh, yeah.
even though they haven't filled out an application. But the next day, there's, Mariah Walton has it for that Sunday. Okay, and then the next one is, I believe, in, maybe a few weeks, but I do know that that's going on.
Yeah, if you look in the camera, they were over there very early in the morning.
Probably
or
because
two
of
people.
first come,
Yeah.
first served.
Like, just like they do at other parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't rent it, you get there
So-
first.
Well, that's something that you guys could correct, you could,
I just
you
feel
know.
like the littering and all that, there's, you know, who's gonna cite them?
Yeah.
That's where we're at. You would think people would
So-
clean up, but we saw it.
So, when Al gets back, Margaret, I'd like to sit down with you, Al, and Mike, so that we can finish up the ODNR grant, which ends up in June.
Yep,
So we have all that wrapped up and out the door and ready to go. That's about, I guess I'll ask Margaret, we do have some funds to cover the bills that will be coming in from finishing that up.
we have some, but there was nothing put in the budget for that other $100,000.
Say again?
That other $100,000 grant, there wasn't anything put in the appropriations for that money.
Why not?
Because we don't have it.
We never passed any legislation on that. They authorized us applying for the grant, but it wasn't followed all the way through, so,
But council authorized us to move forward with the grant.
well,
So it should have been a part of the appropriation of what council authorized. And beyond that, it's a process. You don't leave it out because every I's not dotted or every T's not crossed. It's a process, and council said, we'll move forward with this.
The last thing I remember we asked for is you to bring back what
Say
the
again?
costs were, that we authorized to bring back what the costs were, and if the county was gonna work something out with the vendor to pay for it. And then you come back,
The county.
not county, or whoever it's through, the state of Ohio or
Where
whatever,
the grants through.
whoever the grant's through.
Yeah, but
And
that
it's-
doesn't negate the grant.
Well, it does how we're gonna pay for it if we don't
We
have the
don't have
money
the
up
funds to
front.
pay for it.
Hey, all I'm saying is, council made the motion to move forward with the grant, and that's what we've done. All of this stuff is still coming, there's no reason not to leave it in as an appropriation.
You already ordered the stuff to be done on that 100,000 grant already?
I'm sorry?
Did you already authorize work
No.
for that 100,000 grant?
No, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Council authorized me, I'm putting it all together, and whenever,
But I remember us asking if you could ask the vendors if they could get paid
Yes.
directly from the grant.
And
That
did
was
I-
the last thing that we discussed.
No, it's not. The last thing you discussed is when I came back and said that we can get a 33% upfront money to pay the vendor upfront money. Now, that's the last thing that was said. So I assume we would move forward on that premises going forward. Now, if you do anything else, you've gone against council's wishes to move forward with the
I'm
process.
not doing anything against council's wishes.
We just don't have
It
money.
was not put in there when they
It
did the
certainly was
budgets.
council's wishes. It was voted on
It
and
was for
council
you to
said move
move forward,
ahead.
Dan, but they never passed a resolution or anything to do it.
Well, is that my fault?
And it's not my fault either.
Hey, you get a resolution for everything else you need or want. And when it comes
I'm
down
not
to
the only
something that
one
maybe
that's
you
asked
don't
for
want,
those.
you
No,
just,
and that's
just
not
say, well,
true.
we don't
It's
need
not
a
that I don't
resolution on
want.
that.
No,
That's
no, no.
that's just not how it works, gang.
No, it's not how it
That's
works.
just not how it works.
So,
That's not how it works. So now, you're gonna override council and say, no,
I'm not
no,
gonna override council,
no.
Danny.
Just let me
No.
finish, and then you can say everything you want. Right now, you're gonna override council, who said, we will accept the $100,000 grant and move forward with that. And you're gonna override it and not ask for a resolution to follow council's wishes.
That's not up to me. There's other people around this table who call for resolutions. The finance committee is the one who takes
Yeah,
care of the
well-
money, and it wasn't me.
Well, that's
I'm
all
just
right.
trying to follow
That-
what
all I'm
is put
saying-
out there.
Margaret
All I'm
Ann.
saying is, we pick and choose what we want around this table.
Margaret Ann.
Yeah, we do.
Do we have the money to go forward with that $100,000 grant as of now?
We don't have the money in the budget right now.
Okay, thank you.
And why not?
Because we're losing
That's a lot of
$300,000
That
over
is a
there.
lot of money, and I know we didn't agree.
Yeah,
I know we did
I
not
know we
say
did
that.
not agree to
We were
that.
get
sorry.
we did not agree that.
To what?
No, we discussed it, but no, not.
Oh,
to
yeah.
100.
Oh,
No,
absolutely. It
no,
was a
because we
five-
talked about
It was
the
3
9,000
to
or
2
whatever.
vote. Oh, 9,000?
We
No,
agreed
talked
with
about
that.
the
No,
100,000.
we did not agree on that.
We did not
We-
agree on the
Because I remember, we do
100,000.
not have the money. We
We don't have the
that.
money.
No,
We have
We'll go
streets
back
that
in-
are a mess.
we'll go back in the
We have a
minutes.
lot of things.
Well, please
I
Go back to
understand
the
all
minutes
that.
to go
We'll go
back
back in the minutes and we'll see what we
Yeah.
talked about
The
because there was a
park
vote.
The
And
park
we
looks
did
so
ask-
nice.
So
So
we
nice
asked
now.
for
But
further
our streets look
information
like
because we
crap.
wanted to, where are we getting this money then? And how, they said, well,
Not
maybe if they
enough.
agree
That
to deal
was
directly
the
with
bottom
them.
line. The bottom line was that the majority of council
We don't have it.
moved forward.
I'm
And
sorry.
if you want to say now, at this point, you'll block it this way, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
We're
No,
not trying to block it. Where are we
I don't
going
have
to
a
get
problem.
it?
We're just
This-
Where are
asking,
we gonna
where is
get
the
it?
money
Hey, I don't
coming
have
from?
a problem with it. If this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do. And we'll do it that way. End of story, right?
But we have to have the money
Is that the end of the
to
story,
pay
right?
people. I mean, how are we gonna do that?
My opinion is the streets need to be fixed before anything in that park needs to be done.
You're right.
People are
Look.
still
Streets
complaining
need to
about
be
the streets,
fixed.
the
Hey,
way
wait a
the
minute.
how,
Go ahead.
Wait a
the
minute.
park is beautiful.
Wait
The park
a
looks
minute.
nice, Dan.
You guys know better than I do that the funds that we get are for the park. They're not for the streets.
We
And I
understand
can't
that.
use that. Why don't you? If you guys are so worried about the streets and you want to jump on me every time I say something about money for the park that's free,
It's not
how
free.
many of you have got worked on the streets? Worked on the streets. Money for the streets.
Apparently
Well,
nobody.
I have.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna let that one go. Look, I've been working hard getting money on it.
As I mentioned to you before in our last meeting, Mayor, you were working on that. But there we go. So, you know what? Hey, I'm not gonna sit around this table until I look and see and see that you guys,
I do have a
Just
question,
walking.
if you don't mind, Danny, for
Please.
a minute. Cause I do remember 30%. You said they would give us 30% up front, correct?
One third.
33,
1/3.
one
yeah.
third, so.
Yeah, so I question that.
All right, so if we spent, say we had a project that would fit within that 30%, we use that 30%, we spend it. Now, would they go ahead and reimburse us also again so that we can keep that ball rolling that way?
That
Do you get
thir-
what I'm
I
saying?
know exactly what you're saying. That 30% is to, give us startup money, was what we need. And then as we start up money, as we turn bills in,
Will
we'll
they
get money back.
that's why will they keep replenishing that 30%?
They won't keep replenishing the 30%. They
Like,
won't.
up to the 100, so that's what I'm saying, like, say
So
we
you got
spent
70%
30%.
left. So with that 70%, you do it like you do every other loan.
So we would have to
that we
put the
get.
money up front first, and
Yes.
then we get reimbursed the money that we don't have to put out, the money that we don't have to put out first. We don't have that money with Enio's closing. We have to look into the future of the village, and
Well,
I'm sorry, but, I mean, the park's nice, but that's not one of the serious things that need to be taken care of in this village.
okay, okay.
It
Like
isn't.
like I said to each one of you, if you want to block it that way, block it that way. And I'm good with it. Block it however you want to block it. I'm good with it.
May I ask a question? And
Please.
I'm not, obviously, I don't wanna step out of my purview, it's for council. But I just wanna understand, as I'm sitting here listening, when the state gives you the 30%, okay? I just kinda piggybacking on the mayor's question. Let's say 30% is $30,000, right? They
Exactly.
give you $30,000. If you went out and spent $5,000 on a vendor out of that 30, and you took that $5,000 bill that you just paid and requested reimbursement, will they reimburse that $5,000 immediately?
I'm not totally clear on that,
That's
but I'm not
That's what
gonna
I'm
say,
That's the
I'm not
question
gonna
the
sit
mayor's
here and
asking.
say yay, never did, but I'll find out.
The issue there
'Cause then
is,
that's what
are
I mean
you,
about
is
moving
that
it forward.
30,000 seed money that you can build on and use,
Yeah.
because every time you spend a portion of it, you're getting
That's a
reimbursed?
great question.
Well, that's what the
Yeah, and I
mayor's
can give you
asking,
the
and I didn't
answer.
hear the answer to that.
Mhm.
So I just wanna know for my,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So the
Yeah,
way he
I
explained it, that's
understood
what I'm.
that,
yeah.
absolutely.
Can I ask, that's the way it would be with the current grant we've got with the Ohio, can't think of the name of it, for the park right now,
Mhm,
that we
ODNR.
have, with the ODNRA. We applied for a $70,000 grant, okay? And in that, we used village general fund money to get items done over at the park. 2 years ago, in November of *24, I sent them, the state of Ohio, a request for reimbursement for everything that we had spent. And they sent a thing back to us saying that they would only pay us a percentage of the 79,000, so we got the 59,000, which we have used towards other things over on the park that we've got to recruit this time going around, plus things out of the budget that will make up the total 100,000 for that grant, okay? So that's the way it has been working, is that we have to spend village money, show them proof of purchase, the settlement of paying the vendors off, and then they send us the reimbursement money back.
well, that's what, my question though is,
It's
if they're
the
gonna
same
give you,
thing.
if they're gonna give you $30,000, you basically have $30,000 up front to start spending?
Exactly.
If we have it in the bank, not if we
Or will they?
put our 30 up and then get reimbursed, is what we're.
But they were
That's
saying
the
there
question is,
up
are they
front
going to
there.
give you 30,000 up front?
Up front.
And then the other
No questions
my
asked.
follow-up question,
30,000, all Margaret has to do is send in the request when that time comes.
my follow-up question to that, and I'm sorry, my follow-up question to that would be, and I didn't look at the grant, I've seen what you're working on in the past, but for today's purposes, I haven't. Let's say you took the 30,000 and you started spending it and you're getting reimbursed 5,000, 6,000, another 4,000, 15,000 of it, you're getting reimbursed, and you get to the point where you've spent so much that you don't really have that extra seed coming in because you've kind of equalized the upfront money versus and the reimbursements. If you don't spend all 100,000, then what happens?
They keep
Can you stop the process in the middle
they keep it.
of the grant?
Can we stop using
In
it?
other words, can you say, listen, you gave us our 30, we spent that, we also spent maybe another 10,000, so we've spent 40. But now, because there's no more upfront money coming in, can you say, well, we'll just stop with the 40 and end the grant process, so that you don't have to outlay
In
money?
the past, we've got extensions.
Double check that for you. I'm not gonna tell you something I don't know about, but all of our grants have worked pretty much the same.
Okay.
But-
Except this one,
Yeah.
we don't owe anything. We
Well-
only owe, we
And
get
really and
100,000, we
truthfully,
have no
to
match,
make,
we have nothing.
to make it for me, we do need a resolution to prove to the auditors that it did come around the table. Even though council said, apply for it and see what we're gonna get, we still need that one document.
I remember the evening I was here, this one was tied by the mayor, there was a tie and the mayor broke the tie. And my recollection is that the funding was not voted on, Mr. Pillow. I mean, that's my recollection, is that they were authorizing you to continue to pursue this grant,
Right.
but that they did not release or authorize funds
And that's what I'm doing.
outlaid in for it.
That's exactly where we are.
This is
That's
the reason
why
I
I'm
ask
here.
you these questions,
Yeah.
because I know I'm gonna be asked questions in the future about
Hey,
it. So I'm trying to
hey.
figure out how this works. Yeah,
And I'm doing exactly what council said and what you just said.
okay.
And we're moving ahead right now. I mean,
I think it'd be, I'm gonna back out of the conversation. I jumped in where the council's talking about this. I think that it would help probably if you figured out, is that basically, you don't even have to submit anything. They're gonna give you 30,000 up front and off you go. And will they reimburse as you start using that? Because I think you can use their money to finance the next bit of
yeah,
money.
I can get answers to all those questions. Those are not questions that I've dealt with in all the grants that I've done before.
Well, and
So
this was
that's,
obviously-
but I don't think, Chris, at this point, it matters a lot. But,
Well, I think.
I mean.
I think it might matter, because I don't think anybody here is gonna say, if we don't have to spend any money, that they're not gonna pursue the project. I think the issue is, the people that are worried about this on council are worried about putting money up front that the
It's
council
the
doesn't have.
issue today.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna back out of the conversation. I think that would be helpful, at least for me, from a legal
Yeah.
perspective, to know how the grant works.
Sure.
And what position
Sure.
the village would be in if it stopped midway through the process because it spent the money.
Right.
And because that would be a legal issue,
We
so.
went into this project knowing we were gonna spend money.
Right.
Knew it, there's no question about it. We knew that. It's just, if it ain't today, it'll be something else the next time. But that's okay, like I said, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem.
Dan, I felt, Dan, if we could get the answers to some of the questions that we're having, if we can do that, like he's explaining, I think we could spend some, once we have the 30,000 or 33, whatever it is, and then move on to the next project, once we get the money back. Use that as the funding for each thing as we go along, as far as we can get. I mean, I know that I don't remember getting any money up front before, it's been
Exactly.
a long time ago.
And that's what you guys asked for. We don't have, that was the cry back then. We don't have any upfront money. How are we gonna pay the upfront money? I got that clarification. We can get the upfront money, so now we're on to something else. So that's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna take up all the council's time here tonight with this situation. I'm just not gonna do it.
I think
I
you
understand what your questions are.
The finance committee.
I think you can see a
Needs to
situation,
amend the
you can
appropriations to put the 100,000 in there.
contemplate a situation where if they give you 30 or 33,000, and you spent, and your vendors were only 10,000 at a time, you spend, out of the 30, you spend 10, you get 10 back, you're spending 10, you never would have come out of pocket in advance.
I fully
And I
understand
think the
that.
council wants to know that,
I fully understand your
Right.
question, fully.
okay?
Well, on that note, I think that the finance committee needs to get together and we need to amend the appropriations so we can put the 100,000 in there. I do, because we need it in there so I can draw against it when we start getting, like the advance and I apply it. Because when I put the appropriations together, that money's not sitting in the bank. It's saying it's anticipated revenue. So when we get the 30,000, that gives where I will enter it into our system and draw against it.
When you get the 30,000, it will go to the contractor.
Well,
It won't sit anywhere.
but what I'm
Because
saying
that's
is, I
the,
have to show
that's the
how
amount
we're,
of money it takes to guarantee that the project moves
well,
forward.
we have to show it, how it's being pulled out. Unless they're cutting the check. If we're cutting the check, then I have to
There-
put it somewhere.
Yeah, there's things that we don't know. Where is it in writing so we know what we're doing? I mean, it's not that I don't believe you, but it's
I'm
just
good,
unusual,
gang.
Dan.
I'm good.
We'll get it
We'll
figured out.
get you the information you want and see what happens next week. We do meet next
Oh,
Yeah,
so
we
the
do.
30,000 doesn't go to our account, they're not giving it to our account to pay?
Would you say again?
Or so the 30,000 are not like depositing it
They're
in
not
our
sending
account?
me a
or
check?
they would be paying for it?
Yeah, it goes into our account.
Okay,
They'll
so
pay
we
the-
do need
the
that
contractor.
line.
So I
Nothing
have,
new. This is nothing new.
Dan, so I have to send them a thing, like saying the Village of Addyston would like to request an advance or withdrawal from the $100,000 for the value of the 30,000, and then they'll release a warrant, a check to us that I put in our bank account to draw off of. Is that how it would work?
I will have every answer. I won't take up any more of your time tonight, as I've said. I will have every answer that you want.
Okay,
Come
I'll
next,
just,
comes our next meeting, that'll work.
okay,
Okay? Okay?
thank you.
Are you
Everybody
going
good?
over your thing for streets?
Yeah?
I had a couple
Yeah.
of questions on that. Yeah.
Everybody's good. We had our street, I want, during my time, just to very quickly, from my perspective, from my seat, and the mayor knows I always vote with her because she has to make decisions, she has to live with them, and this is the first time I've ever said no to when the mayor has made a request. But I just feel like it's really a travesty that we don't take a known quantity and bring the man back. I just, too many things are going through my mind to discuss, but it just blows me away that, especially being that I was in the interviews. That's all I have to say from my seat for that. Just want to make it abundantly clear how I feel. So you have the Streets Committee, when we met on May the 5th, and we talked about a means to clean up the streets and the properties within the village. Myself, Auel and Ms. Jackson met. Thought it was a very, very productive meeting, and we were sort of we tasked ourselves with finding a sustainable protocol to stop the growing trend of trash, debris, and garbage, including cans, being left on our streets and properties. We agree that we cannot allow any situation that detracts from the aesthetics of our village and its cleanliness. And Pam, feel free to jump in whenever. I'm not sure I think I got all the notes down. We propose and agree that we implement or establish laws and ordinances that, one, make it unlawful to deposit any trash, garbage, or debris on property or curbside before 4 o'clock p.m. the day before the garbage pickup. In our case, we pick up garbage on Friday, so we didn't put trash out prior to, I'm just going on some of the other things we've done in the past. We didn't put any trash out, I think, before 5 o'clock then on the old ordinance. Make it unlawful to leave any trash, debris, or garbage, including receptacles, beyond 7 o'clock the evening following the pickup. So on Friday night, we expect everybody, this is what we're recommending to council, we expect everybody to have their trash cans off the street and have our streets looking pristine again. We looked at ways to creatively enforce violations of those two things. Hire a company, contractor to collect garbage left behind on the second week of violations. In other words, if they don't pick up your trash on Friday, and we come back and it's not picked up the following Friday, then we spring into action with everything that we have, okay, including getting it moved real quickly.
Danny, I have a question on that.
I'm sorry.
I have a question on that.
Uh-huh.
So if they don't pay their bill on Friday and the garbage still sitting there, do they need to move it back onto their property and not on the street, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. I'll make that clear.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely true. We looked at ways, I said, to creatively enforce violations of the above. A, hire a company contractor to collect garbage left behind on the second week of violations. This has to be a quick strike force, or it doesn't do us a lot of good to have that sitting there over the weekend. You know, we want to be able to call on somebody to get that off the street on that day. This is just some things we talked about. Confiscate the cans with a retrieval cost of $25 on the second week. If we have to pick it up, we're gonna keep your cans, and it's
I
gonna
have
cost
another
you to
question
get them
about
back.
that. The cans are owned by Rumpke. A lot
All
of
of
people
them.
rent them.
Not
I
all
know,
of
but
them.
mine are rented from Rumpke.
Uh-huh.
The one time they accidentally forgot to pick my garbage up, so they told me to leave it at curbside.
Uh-huh.
That the village has a contract with them that we can leave those cans on curbside and they can come back on Monday morning to pick it up. That's what Rumpke told me,
I'll
so.
check the contract, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't
It
think
don't
that's
say
in
that
there.
in there.
Okay, I'm just telling you what they told me when I
Yeah,
called
cause I
them
did the same thing, they
Thing.
said leave that
Leave it at
trash at the
trash,
curb,
yeah.
because they ended up picking it up
on Monday.
Sunday morning.
Oh no, mine was
actually.
Monday,
It was Sunday at 4 o'clock in the morning,
yeah.
yeah.
But I mean,
I
can
don't
they,
think that's in
can
the
they
contract.
confiscate your
think it is
cans and
here.
charge
I
you
don't
$25 if you don't even own them? It's Rumpke's cans.
But
That's my
not
question.
everybody rents a Rumpke
I'm just asking the
can.
people who has Rumpke cans, that were renting from Rumpke,
How are you gonna know the difference?
cause that
Do
Rumpke's
they have
has,
their
yeah,
little Rumpke
they have a Rumpke
label?
logo on it. Because that homeowner don't own those cans.
I wouldn't wanna be picking up Rumpke cans.
Okay.
Yeah. So, again, these are things that we'll have to work on, work out, see what council likes, what they don't like, see we can use our maintenance, charging costs to dump, and travel time. If our guys have got to pick up trash and take it to Rumpke or somewhere, that individual will be charged the cost, our guys cost, their time and travel time and dumping fees. One thing that I noticed that I didn't put in here, but we talked in terms of putting on the tax duplicate to get our money back. If we can get this in the right type of ordinance that we need, when we incur those kind of costs, that we want a tax duplicate.
Dan,
Slow way to get your money back, I'm sorry.
I just wanna follow up on Kathy's
Yes.
question. I mean, whatever you do with Rumpke is, it's governed by contract. So, I'm assuming the village also has a contract with Rumpke. Do you have some
Yes.
understanding with them?
Yes,
Well,
we
you know,
do.
there could be a provision in there where you just say, you can always negotiate, or renegotiate terms of a contract with them and have an understanding, hey, we're trying to keep the village cleaned up. We wanna pick up, if there's a can left out there, and whatever their time frame is, if giving them time to come by if they miss it, we want to return the can to you, and they'll have to come to you and pay to get another one from you. But we're gonna be returning cans to you, for violations. This is something that they might say, okay, fine, we'll take the can back, somebody buys another can from us. So I don't wanna just put a kibosh on this, there are ways to get around all of the little things, so you have to kinda come up with what you wanna do, and then.
One of the things that we don't have on here is the thought, as we go through this, and I was looking through my notes, is the possibility of having the village, just thoughts to throw out there, have trash services put on the tax duplicate. that it's paid for, and Rumpy will pick it up regardless.
On the individual property owner's tax
Right.
duplicate.
Yes.
Like we do the water and sewer.
Right, water and taxes, water and
Sewer and trash.
garbage collection, both,
Yeah, that way there's no reason for it not to get put on the street.
yeah. We had quite
To
a
be collected.
discussion on that
But you still have to
possibility.
enforce them picking it up off
Right.
the streets.
Right, then it's still a can problem in there.
Well, Dan, I will email you a copy of the current contract with Rumpke, and you can look at it.
Yeah, we need to look at
Because
that.
I think it's still in,
I
you
did-
know,
I
like
just didn't want
Chris
to-
said about maybe amending it and meeting with Dan Furrier or Susan Luckby or somebody out there about our contract and what we can do.
'Cause this is my thing, if they're not paying a Rumpke bill and you confiscate that Rumpke can, they may not even wanna come and get the can, they might just go buy them a can from Kroger's or something to sit on the side, then is Rumpke gonna have to pay this $25 to get their cans back?
I'm sorry?
Rumpke wouldn't have to pay the $25 to come and get their cans, right? Say the homeowner has a Rumpke garbage bin, they don't pay their bill, you guys confiscate that bin. The homeowner decides, well, I'm not gonna go give them $25 to get that Rumpke can back, I'll just go buy me a can from Lowe's or something for $9 or $10.
But you, what I was just talking about is you would be returning the can to Rumpke.
So they would be returning
You
it
would
with
just,
no fee.
well,
Okay.
this is just, this is hypothetical, because you have to look at the contract, or have some discussions with Rumpke, and they might have had this situation come up somewhere else. And you basically would say, we've got people, they leave the trash out, they don't do anything with it, we wanna pick up the can and return it to you, almost like when your car gets impounded,
Right.
gets towed. Towing company doesn't own your car, it's sat in a lot, and the people say, cars that are parked here illegally are gonna be towed. Well, next thing you know, you want your car back, you gotta go pay the towing company for the tow and the storage. So it would work out similarly, you would just say, Rumpke, we're gonna be confiscating cans and bringing them back to you. If they want another can, we'll have to
They
come to you
can
and
have a
get one.
written new one. Yeah. So Margaret, if you can find that, contract, so about, like, if they accidentally forget to pick people's garbage up, and they tell you to leave it on the curb until Monday morning, I mean, that's what they told me when I called, I was in
I
Maine
don't
when I
think
got
that's
called.
listed in there, it's very precise.
I know, maybe, yeah, they might have told you that, but,
I know,
Do you have
I
a
don't-
contract with the people?
yeah, we do.
yeah,
I don't,
Not with the people, with the,
Rumpke,
Rumpke we do.
but you don't pay my garbage.
No, but we have a ordinance with them that they
They are the
provider
provider.
for the
But
community.
we got people across the street got buried, and then we got two different people out our end. See, I don't understand why you see have a contract. We got different garbage we got two different garbage companies out our end.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Well, we do, because
Well, apparently council doesn't know we do, they
that's why
shouldn't
I
be.
asked Margaret, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't know
because
why.
when they went out for bid, everybody had the opportunity, and we've been with Rumpke, I know, for at least 25, 30 years.
They usually watch come out Friday morning, everybody, but a few of those people out there got cheaper garbage, it's cheaper than,
Well,
years ago, you used to cover the garbage, and I guess they did away with it.
Yes, we did.
When I lived in Addyston Woods, Miami Township took care of it, it was in our tax bill.
Mhm.
But you got a difference between the apartments and houses.
okay, here we go again.
Mayor, can I finish my report?
Yes.
Thank you. We also want to make sure that the mayor has the authority to direct maintenance, if we go that route, to carry out the protocol set by council, which means that she doesn't have to wait for a council meeting or anything. Once we set this up, however we set it up, she'll be the one to enforce, to tell the maintenance people or the people whom we deal with or contract with, you need to get this out of here, pre-authorized, okay? We also discussed ways to inform the community of the growing need to be vigilant in keeping our streets and properties clean. Via a dedicated flyer or part of a newsletter indicating the ability to seek information and anonymously point out trouble spots online at our code enforcer's website. We want to make sure people realize that if they have a problem themselves or they need the code enforcer, they can get online and address that. And they can also address any other problems that they see, whether it be their neighbor or somewhere else in the community, anywhere in the community. We not only believe, but we know that enforcement is the most critical element in any community. I can go back and look at the demise of Addyston, the history where Addyston used to be the most pristine of the three villages back in the day. Nice little cottage houses, everything looked good. But as soon as the foundry shut down, people started moving around and they didn't have the money that they normally have to keep their properties up. We didn't have anybody to point them and say, no, I'm sorry, you still got to fix that gutter that's fallen off your house. I'm sorry, you still got to clean up the trash that's laying all around your house, which is often not money issues. They're just mind matters. They're just issues of how clean you want your place to be. So with that in mind, we discussed how to optimize our code enforcement. We need to have a clear understanding of our expectations. I mean, I don't care who the code enforcer is, unless we have a clear vision of what we want him to do, then it'll be tough for them to do it. And we have to relay those expectations to the code enforcer. We have to understand that this may incur more time from the code enforcer, and with that, it would also bring an added expense to the village. And in the end, we have to agree to go in a direction that's advantageous to all parties for the betterment of the community. And that means we, as a council. Other items we discussed were an obstructed view of westbound traffic on Main Street. Pulling out of First Street, if you're coming out of First Street, you look to your left, you're gonna see box trucks sitting there, and you're gonna have to take your chances as to whether something's coming or whether something is not coming. Now, I don't know if that's a police issue or a code enforcement issue. I would assume, I don't know, I'm not gonna assume anything, I just don't know.
But it is
It's obstruction.
dangerous, very dangerous.
A vision on the street, so.
But also, if you're going this way and you're turning left on the highway and the Hamilton County's parked there, you can't see somebody coming either, so there's
Right.
an issue there. But what do you do about
It's-
that?
Mhm.
Yeah, so
We discussed that
I
as
think
well.
Pam's brought that up multiple
We
times.
did.
Yeah, it's,
that's dangerous.
we just need to communicate with them and just,
Right.
Mhm.
they should know when they pull up there that you can't see, you're out in the
Can't
intersection,
see.
here's a car. Yeah, especially
That
coming
box
off the
truck
highway here.
is
If they put 3 cars
Mhm.
there, you can't see.
Yeah, and I think we talked,
Yeah, we talked about it many
We-
times.
yeah, we talked about that. We also talked to the sheriff about that on more than one, or even our own police.
Yeah.
When they were there.
Right.
We talked about that on more than one occasion, not being able to see. You have to inch forward, and that, you don't wanna do that either.
But that
And-
truck at First and Main, I know they even moved it back, way back lately, but you still can't see.
Yeah,
Right.
people out too
And we do have an
Exactly.
ordinance where those type vehicles aren't supposed to be.
Well, even
in the
more than
village.
that, they're not even supposed to be parked on our
Right.
streets,
That's,
those box trucks, so.
yeah.
But we have these ordinances. When are we gonna start enforcing things? We've talked about things already, but we're talking about the same things. What do we do? How do we
Mindy,
get 'em?
I spoke to the sheriff today about a couple things. He said once they get the ordinances, they can start ticketing these people that are not going by, like keeping their yard clean, the excessive garbage and stuff. He said once they get those ordinance, the officer I just talked to today said he's more than happy to go down and ticket them every day if he had to.
Okay. So we need to start
So-
doing this. I mean, there's
Mhm.
things right in front of us happening and we're not doing anything.
Yeah. So,
This is really good
Chris,
stuff.
do you have any idea if there's something you wanna look at? Who takes care of obstructions on our streets, you can't see, or illegally parked vehicles.
Are they illegally parked because of the nature of the vehicle or because of where they are? I mean, is it
The
a
nature.
parking,
The
it's the
nature.
type of vehicle?
Yes,
So then we have an ordinance somewhere that talks about these?
I think that was in some of the stuff that
Talked
we
about that.
reviewed and went
There's,
to your.
there's the one that the committee, the laws and contracts
Okay,
committee
this
went
is,
through.
this was one of the things that, actually, I spoke with Mayor about some of these today, that I need to kind of go over some of this stuff and make sure that they're, everything complies with Ohio Revised Code, and then come back with some type of ordinances that will kind of meet these requests. And this would fall into that as well. I don't know if we already have one, or there's some stuff that goes back in time that needs to be updated. So I'll be working on these. Hopefully I get some time in this week to address some of them.
Here's the one on the box
And
truck.
but one of the things we also talked about before, I think, was as far as code enforcement is, are we gonna start taking people downtown? And that's different than just having the sheriff ticket people. And if we have them, I don't take the time to sit here and go through all these right now. But if the ordinance is there and they'll ticket them, we should just give them a copy of the ordinance. If it's current, I
Yeah,
think we need
they
to make sure they're
requested
kind of
that they have to
updated.
be current.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause right now, if we realize we don't have a way to do it like we did before, if it has to go downtown, do we need, something,
One of
an
the,
ordinance or something on that, so we
Ready
can
to-
just make it happen?
Well-
Because that's what needs to happen, or we're not getting anywhere here.
okay, so the way that I think we talked about it, maybe, I'm trying to remember how many meetings back. It might have been 3 meetings back. If we have a current ordinance, and actually I didn't talk about the ordinance, I talked about some basis upon which to go downtown, and that would have actually been the notice of violations. The code enforcer
For properties.
is gonna put the notice, and when it's not complied with, then we go downtown. And there was going to be a list, if you recall, of the top 10 list, not to quote old David Letterman stuff, but there was gonna be a top 10 list, and then we're gonna start, working on those from top to bottom. So, I mean, but I did say that I don't want, I remember Ms. Pillow was talking about it, I don't wanna be going downtown with some notice of violation that is, 5 years old.
Right.
Just.
Right.
So if we can get that top 10 list, get new notices out, that's one thing. As far as these different things, we probably need to update these ordinances, so we can just hand them to the sheriff. And, maybe we have a nice, short, quick start guide, so to speak, that we just work off of, hey, these are the things that the sheriff's gonna be called on all the time. And 4 or 5 updated ordinances, and as the council finds new ones, they'll just be added. With this parking, obviously, we probably need to take a look at what ordinance applies, update it, boom, then the sheriff can start giving tickets. So there's a lot for me to do. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, because I think this other top 10 list thing just kind of got lost in the shuffle. I mean, are we gonna be doing that? I'm happy to
Yeah.
file an
He said he
action.
was bringing that on the next meeting, the
Okay.
18th. That's what he said at the last meeting.
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I called the Board of Health today, and not only through the village can we file like a nuisance, but through Hamilton County Board of Health you can personally go down and file a nuisance on a house. I talked to them today, they're supposed to be calling me back.
Okay. So there are other avenues then. I mean, you can come
Yeah.
at it from different angles, but, all right, so I did, tell Mayor that I'd be looking at these things and trying to update some of this stuff, because some of it's gonna require some research. You might not be able, they're gonna tell me, we wanna do this, well, you can't, so,
Mhm.
and see what we can do, obviously you wanna, within the bounds of the law, you know, make it as strict as possible. You know, just, for instance, just an ordinance like this, can we take cans, can we do this, can we do that? Say, well, you know, it's really not fair that you take the can, because I put the can out there, I have to put the can out before 4 p.m. because I just got a call that my mother's in the hospital. You know, and I want the garbage taken out, I put it out at 2 p.m. and all of a sudden now I'm screwed. My mother's in the hospital, I didn't pick it up before 7 p.m. Is there some method to notify the village that there is an emergency or ask for an exception? You know, things like that.
Yeah.
You know, and then so you come back, the person comes back, the can's gone, they've got a bill, and they have to go to Rumpke to get a new can. They're not gonna be happy if they thought they were doing everything the way that they should have. And they could probably have a point, you know, so you just don't really run afoul of stuff like that. And when you put it in the ordinance, what the mayor is empowered to do, it should be not beyond what the village can do, so, I need to,
There are always gonna be some contingencies.
always, yeah.
You just have to know how to work around those.
So so from my, you know, this is not part of my report, this is part of your committee, target, from my perspective, I feel like there's stuff I'm supposed to be doing, but we're not checking any boxes off, see what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I'd like to check off some boxes, so hopefully next week, we get some code enforcement stuff, get an idea of the top 10 list, let's get working on that. I'll be working on these, and we'll start making some forward progress.
Somebody is coming Monday?
I don't know, I mean, this is what I
it's
hear.
like a ghost.
The
I know I
bottom,
tried to
We
call him
don't
today,
know.
he didn't answer.
the bottom line is this document is something that everybody can hold in their hand, look at, turn over, turn it upside down, make notes on it. This is not a final thing that we have to get done tonight, but I think we have a good foundation to
To build
start
on.
moving and thinking about what we need to do as a council along those lines. And your input is what we have to have. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Well, if the council says we want something
So,
like this, then I would view that as instruction to go back and draft a resolution, or actually an ordinance that, puts
Yeah,
this into
I mean, we
effect.
have one somewhere that we can sort of
He's got it.
He's
build
got
off
them.
Got a
of.
copy.
He's got 'em.
I
Oh,
made
yes,
copies
okay.
of all
You
the
just gotta make
ones
sure
that
they're all
the
up to
committee
date.
wanted changed.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think the sheriff.
So
wants
we
to-
need a motion to direct you in that order?
No, but I mean, this one here, I don't know if there's one that says all these things about picking up the cans and all that type of
Right.
stuff. So,
Yeah, there is.
There
Okay,
it is.
all right.
It's the refuge one.
So,
Trash and refuge.
moving ahead, see, the mayor spoke to us, the mayor was in the meeting, also along with, Mayor Mear was in the meeting, along with Ray Adamson, a citizen, and, Linda Thomas, also a citizen, were there and had some good input in helping us, have a perspective from the community. But, 6B, the mayor spoke of a different parking model on First Street, moving the parking to the north side of the street rather than the way it is now. As you come down Fiddler's Green, parking is on your right. So she has at least spoken about having looked at a model of putting the cars on the right side of the street going out of town, up Fiddler's Green. And, Mayor, I assume you'll give us some sort of a modeler rendering that kind of
I can.
clarifies.
I was just hoping you guys at least look at it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
could possibly help a lot of people out up there with driveways, getting out of their driveways, with parking spaces, because it would add parking spaces. So
Mhm.
it's just something I wanted you guys to look at. If you want me to draw something up, I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah, great. Councilwoman Jackson distributed to the committee, information on driveways from the state, state, not, just suggestions to what the state says about, driveways, painting out driveways and fire plugs, and those types of things. So we definitely would like to, our driveway spaces haven't been painted in quite some time, nor have our plugs. They all need to be cleaned and updated. So hopefully we can get a community project, something that the old folks who help out whenever they can, and they don't mind me calling them old folks, because we're all
Getting there.
close to 80, but anyway. So we will, and we plan to tour our streets in the near future, looking at the need for streets and sidewalk and curb repairs, and something we ran across is some of you are probably familiar with safe routes for school. We generally work with sidewalks so that kids, had sort of a safe passage. They didn't have beats up. But when I looked at a new, they have a revised that maybe safe routes for schools grant that just might include streets, and that would squarely put us in a good place on second hand, if in fact that happens. So the mayor's going to work on it. The committee will continue to look into it as well to see if we can get that done. Mayor, that's all I have at this time. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Danny. Mindy?
Okay, I'm gonna start with, I know we've talked about the abandoned houses and the houses that are really not safe and different things. I had the chance to finally, I know we talked about this house before, I had the chance to see the house by the Lewis's property down on 400 Three Rivers Parkway, that house back there, and you can see that from the highway, and it's terrible. That really is a safety hazard. I went up there and the back is coming in. I didn't get a chance to look at the back, but you can see where it's from the hill. I mean, this could be, people could be in there. We
It's
have all this
behind the
activity.
Calverts.
Behind the Calvert's halls.
Yeah, behind Calvert's.
Behind Calvert's, I
Right
can't
up-
remember
right
who
up-
used to live there.
Martha
Yeah,
Russell.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
little smaller.
And-
Martha and Walt Russell.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just, there could be all kinds of critters, pests in there, asbestos. I mean, it looks bad. It really does. It's not safe.
So do we have an
Who
updated
owns that
list on the
house?
tear down list?
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Is that
Behind
one of
Johnny
those houses?
Calvert's house.
I
Calvert's
forget,
house, it's 400.
I need to
Three
get a
Rivers
hold of
Parkway.
Hamilton County, because I don't
You know
remember
where
what's on
the
there.
Calverts
That-
live?
that's the house
behind
next
theirs.
to it.
No, the house behind
No, it's
it.
behind it. It was a Calvert.
Yeah,
that they
the
owned.
pink,
Yeah, the pink.
Yeah,
Pink.
is that
Looks
the
like
one
it's a
that's on
garage.
yeah.
there? Yeah, it
It's
is.
tiny.
That's
Looks
really,
like a garage.
that's really in bad
It
shape.
was a house because they lived
I
in
mean,
it.
if that would catch on fire, because we've had a lot of folks, I don't know who they are, in the woods in the back.
Homeless.
We're smelling a lot of like bonfire, like this is
Mm.
during the week. Who's, and there's just a lot of strange activity going on up in those hills.
Up in the woods, yeah.
Yes, in the woods, and if, fires, I just think, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I've seen people, I've had, residents complain, have on their rings, people are coming off of the hill from their properties, and it's dangerous, it's really dangerous. And then, there's some people live by themselves, and, it's not safe. But you can smell fire, you can smell things, and it's just not safe. And that house, that's right up against the woods too.
And they only take one flame and
Well,
it's
yes,
going up.
I mean, it's
Everything's going up.
really, it's not safe back there. That needs to have something done.
Because that's my understanding. I was told that the property was bought by someone. They wanted to tear down that house and build a new
See, that, I'm not sure, but I don't know.
So
I don't know.
whoever I
Is it
guess
covered?
owns it now, maybe get with them and, I was trying to look it up, it's hard to do
Yeah,
that on the phone.
okay, oh, okay.
But I think there was a new owner, cause they had called the code enforcer and the
Okay.
building inspector about putting a new house on that property.
Okay.
So-
It's something, I mean, it's really.
I don't think we
it's
should
not safe.
tear it down if that's what they're gonna do,
No, but we need to
right?
find out, I don't
Yeah.
wanna go and tear it
Oh,
down. I mean,
yeah.
it's definitely one that needs to be on the list, and we need to do some research, because it's dangerous.
They probably have people in there too.
Probably, I
Right.
mean, they're all over these empty houses, and animals and all kinds of things, but that's and I know you guys have talked about it before, and that's the first time I've seen it. And my concern, like I said, with these woods, you smell fires burn, you know, you hear things, you see people coming down the hills and the road on your ring, and what are these people doing? If they're not doing something in our town, then they're doing something up on the hill and coming down. But I don't know, I just think it's not safe. Now, if Hamilton County could maybe drive up there a little bit more, kind of watch, you know, because I'm sure you're gonna see, they have to, like fire, you're gonna see something if they watch. So, I mean, it's just really dangerous. But anyway, I won't harp on that one so much, but that is an issue, and people have come to me about the houses, the woods. I've seen them.
Strange activity.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, and I wanna make a comment, the garbage and all the cleanup with what everybody's been doing it's done a great job. You've really been on these people, we have to stay on them because that looked so bad. And I don't mean just the Main Street folks, yours is terrible again, I know. But that's the whole village, I mean, everybody needs to, and again, these are ordinances and we gotta, why spend time looking at them, trying to update them, trying to talk about it, and it's, every meeting, it's the same thing. Let's research, find out what we need to do, and get them to start enforcing these things. And bringing money to the village, because yeah, we don't have a lot, but there's no reason why we can't again, you know? We just gotta start doing these things, we're just sitting back and not doing anything. And I also want a special thank you for the village, the drop-off. That was nice. That was really nice. I think there was a lot of people that came through, but there were several people that still question, and I know it cost a lot for Rumpke. I know that to have, but a lot of people really miss that, because there's people that can't get out and bring their stuff down. Rumpke took anything, pretty much anything. And I know, and like I said again, we don't have money for it, but maybe down the road, that might be something, if we have any extra funds, maybe not as long of a day, or, I don't know, maybe we can figure something out, because I think that's important, if people really wanna clean out a lot of stuff, garbage, let Rumpke do this. I think we need to, you know, like I said, we're spending money with everything else. Think about stuff like that too, you know?
I agree.
But, I mean, the streets, that's an issue, but that's something that a lot of people have approached, you know, have brought it up, so I just wanna mention it. But that was really nice down there, because you guys worked hard, people were bringing stuff in, we got a lot of stuff. I just think it was just really nice. And,
Can I just kick in that?
Yes,
I mean, I
please.
think you have a point, and I understand it's all about the money, but
right,
boy, how many of the elderly people just,
can't take
they
stuff.
just don't have an opportunity, they don't have the transportation to get there, and somehow we work hard somehow to figure out a program that helps them
Right,
give back
right.
to the
And
community.
this is not like,
I agree with that.
this is not this year, maybe not next year, but it's something to think about, because this is what our residents are saying. So maybe we can figure something out, you know? And I know there's not money for a lot of things that we wanna do, but I think that's something we should consider down the road. We'll see what happens, because right now we can't spend, we don't know what's gonna happen. But I think that is something that help make some of this stuff look good, you know? People have junk laying around, because what do you do with it? You know, maybe we can push them more. It's gotta go. You gotta take advantage of these things, you know? Just a thought. And we're looking at a tentative date for the policy committee. to go over the policies, kind of make sure it's the guide, the manual, make sure it's updated, highlight things and what we need to fix. And the tentative date is May 28th at 5:30. So once I have that confirmed, Margaret, I'll let you know for sure, and you get it posted. Give you plenty of time on that. And let's see, I think, oh, and the park is, when I was over there, I you know, and I know people have commented, the park looks very nice. That is so nice. I think you've done really, kudos to the great work and the hard work, and it looks very nice for us. And I do want to mention, I want to ask, the maintenance position, does that person do everything that the other maintenance guys do? I remember at one time, I don't know if you used or somebody mentioned about a casual worker. Is a casual worker? Or are we looking for somebody who's gonna do everything? That's,
Yeah, we
I mean, I don't
used to
know.
have casual
but we,
workers.
is that, we want somebody that can do everything, correct?
Right.
That's-
Well, yeah,
We're doing-
I guess since Tony's gone, they needed
To do everything,
to help
kind
with
of fill in?
everything. Is
Okay,
that what you guys were
what I,
looking for, Mike? Somebody to help with everything?
not
Yeah.
just some things,
Yeah.
or not just like, well, I don't do this, can I do this, or I'm doing that, and it's everything.
Right.
But what's funny? What's funny about that?
I never heard of a casual worker.
Okay, I
It's a
didn't either
PR,
until I
it's
heard
like,
it that
it's like
day, that night.
PRN. It's like a
That's why I'm
PRN
asking.
worker.
I never heard of it either, but that's why I wanna make sure we're clear that
Can't
this
do it
person
all.
has to do everything.
They use that.
That's
usually
I never
in
heard of it.
nursing. They use it in nursing a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I heard it that one time, I'm like, I felt stupid with a casual worker. I worked in HR for 20 years. I'm
Yeah,
so used to
it's
it.
somebody who makes pretty much their own schedule, like,
Yeah, okay.
say if I was a casual
That's
worker
not
and I
what-
wanted to work Monday, Wednesday,
Yeah, we
Friday,
don't want
that's
that.
all I wanna
Okay,
do.
I just want to confirm
Yeah.
that that's not what we're looking at. We
No.
want somebody that's gonna do everything.
Right.
Okay, that helps. But that's all I have.
All right,
Thank you,
Mindy. Kathy?
Hi. Just a couple things. Like I said, I did contact the Board of Health and ask some questions today. They're gonna contact me back about the citizens can actually go through Hamilton County and file a nuisance on a house, which I didn't know. They finally relayed that to me, so. About the strange activity, there's a lot of it going on. I know down there where, Kenny and, Debbie used to live, where the house was, where all those, there's a lot of homeless people living up in those backwoods too. We see them every morning around 6 a.m. coming down out of those woods. So,
Well, that
it's
might
just,
be the people that are coming from the hill down that way.
yeah. I kinda know who they are, but, you know. Other than that, I mean, I guess the village did contact the people on Main Street about their garbage sitting out. I see all that was taken care of, which I was just like flabbergasted when I walked by, when I drove by, and there was mattresses and couches and all this other stuff just sitting there, and garbage overflowing into the street, and I'm like, unbelievable. So, but any concerns, they also can call the Board of Health. I mean, they have some places that you can call for like housing complaints, waste complaints, you know, stuff like that, so. That's it.
Thank you, Kathy. Miss Ann?
Oh. The only thing I was wondering if we've had anybody contact us about wanting to buy memorial bricks or benches.
I haven't seen anything come in, Ann.
Okay.
I haven't yet either.
Is it posted?
It's on the website.
I must not look at the right
That's
part.
one that I needed to add the form to.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
That's one I needed to add that form to still.
Okay.
I just didn't get a chance to add that yet. I'm sorry about that. It's my fault.
So that's the only thing I'm looking at, and then I'll be pulling my list and coming down, checking the bricks that we do have, and then trying to set up a date to get in the ones that we were placing in the memorial area there. And I have at least 2 or 3 bricks that are going into the community side. So that's all I have right now.
All right, thank you, Miss Ann. Pam?
Yeah, I wanna do an update on the cleanup, or what we wanna call it, the drop-off event. I think that the problem that the citizens are having is what they're used to. This is not a garbage event, this is more of a recycling event, so it
Right.
doesn't go to Rumpke, so it's, you know, saving the earth, basically. But on the garbage, they can put that out every week, a little bit of the time, at a time. And if they need help, if it's a senior citizen, someone that's not able, get in touch with them. I'm sure maintenance would help them out too, or if they see something like that, or if it's my neighbor, go over and help them take it to the curb, and if they're not able to put their garbage out and bring their cans back in.
Yeah,
that's
I
not-
mean, they like
Yeah.
that, you know.
But I mean, as
think
far
they've
as-
just been spoiled
Yeah,
because it was
but
very nice.
they
I
could put
get
it out every week,
But
a
I'm
little
just saying,
bit.
I have
Yeah.
people come to me and say,
Yeah.
so it's like, I'm just.
That's what
relaying.
it is. They
And,
just
you know,
stock
they're
it up. And,
spoiled. It was
Right.
nice having that,
right.
you know.
But you can put the same items out every
Exactly,
week.
6 things, yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do so much, but yeah.
Yeah. And then
And they know that. They
Yeah.
know.
But but the drop off, well, I mean, we had a nicer day this time. It was still a little cold, but we just had a lot of people there, and the people that participated seemed to be happy with what they got. So we'll see if we get more money for next year, where we decide to do. And I want to thank the people that volunteered, and like the mayor, Mark, and is it Daisy? I always forget your dog's name. What's her name?
Luna.
Luna. Luna, I
Never
forgot
get the
Daisy,
moon.
yeah. Luna, for being, they were there too. And then everybody else that participated and helped out. Next on the list tomorrow is the Healthy Harvest mobile unit will be in the parking lot from 1:30 to 2:30. And they also are doing the sign-ups again for the vouchers. It probably will be the last day. So if anybody wants to come down, if they meet the qualifications, they may be able to get some vouchers sent to them for like $140 that would help a family. So if anybody's interested in that, just stop by, but make sure it's first come, first served. But the unit is there for anybody to purchase from. It's cheaper. I feel that, the rest of us will shop there. I feel like the prices are lower than our stores around us. It's convenient.
Did you have a quick question? I'm sorry, but
Sure.
did they give you a price on anything? Somebody asked me how much milk would cost. I don't know.
I think
didn't
if
know
you
if they gave you
go,
a price list or
I'm
something.
trying to remember. No, I don't, but maybe if you go on their website, I know you can click on that little, and it gives you more detail.
Oh,
The
okay.
icon that's on the flyer. And